Dude, Ali, you look so cold.
It's monstrous outside. Get here. Let me just show you.
No.
It's negative 13. It was negative 14 degrees. Negative 14.
Dude.
Me walking Ruben outside. It is so cold that my eyes water because of the wind. Like I have everything covered except for my cheeks. And I feel like my cheeks are slicing like at the slightest wind. I've never had like skin problems. I've been like pretty okay until now. Like I'll go back in and I'll realize that my eyes were so watery that they're just tears down my cheeks and they're like starting to freeze. It's fucking crazy. Who the hell lives here because they want to? Who does this?
Dude, I don't know. And for those of you who aren't, like, literally, we just started recording like the minute we hopped on. Normally we're like, hey, like, do small chat ahead of time. But like, she looks like a straight Eskimo right now. And I was like,
this is
by the way, I love the
miserable.
hat. It's very cute.
Thanks. It has like the interior like warming part. So it's like better than any other beanie. I cannot anymore. And Britt's been away, so I've been one walking a dog 4 times a day outside with the wind.
No.
It just like, and it's not even as like, it doesn't even have to be a strong wind, a small wind, and it feels like it's just cutting you into a million little pieces.
Dude, you got to get him a litter box.
I'm about to teach him how to use the fucking toilet. I'm gonna get a little step stool. Like you and me will feel together, brother.
You'll be fine. You can handle it. Okay. On a real estate note.
Welcome to the Agent Goldmine, the only podcast in the world specifically for real estate agents who are stuck at 5 transactions a year to help them get to 20 plus. Your hosts, Ali Garced and Shelby Johnson, 2 EXP icon agents, each do over 40 transactions a year and interview others who are crushing it. In this podcast, you'll receive the knowledge to help you scale your business using systems and processes with our interviews and monologues twice a week. If you want to be a part of our community, reach out. Welcome to the show.
Okay, for those of you who have been following along for the ultimate listing checklist parts 1 through 5, it will continue. Part 6 is coming possibly next week, maybe in 2 weeks. But today, what we're doing is we're doing a little update and reflection with a special focus on the listing video for my social media that I shared the day we went into coming soon status. And guys, in case you did not know, this ultimate listing checklist whole process is all about Ali. Ali doesn't even know. She's like, oh, it's about me. Well, this is actually for a referral that she sent me. And so this is really just more of like a live play-by-play. You guys are actually, seeing what is happening in my process with this exact listing. And we went into coming soon status this past Wednesday, February 13th whatever the date. And now we're going to go live this week. We have an open house this upcoming Saturday. And a couple insights that I have learned so far that I thought were interesting is, first of all, did you know, Ali, I'm asking you, because you're the only one here with me.
Okay.
Anyone else listening, you can answer in your car to your dog or whatever. Did you know that you can, depending if your MLS allows it, list the same listing multiple times in the same MLS in different categories? I did not know this. What I mean by this is like, and granted, not every listing is going to be applicable. So that's probably step 1 of why people haven't thought about this. But I was sitting there and I'm like putting in the fucking listing, my residential listing. And I was like, no, this should also be a land listing. This should also be a fucking multi-family listing. This should be, all the things, right? Let's just throw it in there. And I'm like, is this legal? Can I fucking do this? And so I reached out, and our little chat things, they're actual humans. It's so funny. I was like, dude, you sound like a human. I'm like telling him that. And he's like, I think we're all humans here. Okay. But he was like, yeah, dude, go for it. Full send. So you can make a copy. I wonder if people out there are like, Shelby, you're an idiot. Of course I knew this. I did not know any of this.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, you can just duplicate the listing while it's in a draft. You can have like fucking 5 of them. And then you can change the category. So you can have your residential, you can have your multifamily, you can have your land, you can have your commercial, you can have whatever applies for the absolute very interesting, unique property that Ali referred to.
Wow. Okay, so this is why it's about me. This is exactly what I expect of every referring partner.
Right. An entire podcast multi-series for Ali. This is a requirement.
8-part series. No, but at a bare minimum, if you receive referrals from anybody else, there was something that an agent by the name of Lisa out in Arizona, a different part of Arizona where I didn't work. I sent her a referral, and she was the first agent ever that put me on like a weekly list. Even if she didn't do anything, she was like, "Hey, Ali, this is my Friday update. I have not been able to make contact with XYZ." And even that,
Love her.
actually, especially now, I'm like, oh my God, every Friday I receive the email, rain or shine, like holiday or not. And I was like, this is brilliant. So that's what I started doing in my own business. Whenever somebody refers me,
So good.
my day is Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I will update other people. So if you're receiving referrals, they are trusting you with their money. So give them an update, especially if there is no update.
Totally. And on this note, I recently followed your process loosely your process, Ali, for referral agents. Normally, I'll find one, maybe two, and I'm just like, I don't track them that much. Like when I send out, unless I'm like, know the person really well, and then I'm like all over that. But if it's like I'm like, whatever. But I need to be better. So this time I had a really fucking good lead. Like I've already personally closed these people in 2018 on a sale, and like I've sent them now. I think this is a twice referral because they're military. So they just keep moving, and they always just come back to me, and they're like, "Hey Shelby, I'm moving to Fort Carson. Like, who do I'm like, I love you. Thank you." But this time I sent it to 3 agents, all who came pretty highly recommended. And yeah, 2 out of 3, like they were real hot for that first 24 hours. And like Diane Shell, shout out to you, girl, in Colorado Springs, has been all over it. And she, hey, like got the buyer agency, side. Hey, like, they found the one, like all these updates. And it's just so nice, warming to my heart that now I have someone in Colorado Springs, like fucking my girl is going to get it done, follow up, give me updates. So anyway.
That's amazing. Yep. I saw in the group
digress.
chat and I was like, what's her name? I want her on my list. So yeah, she's now on my list, even though she doesn't even know me yet. But I've sent a couple
she probably does.
Yeah.
Because she listens, right, Diane? I know she was a Rockstars listener. I think she's if
the Shelby tribe follows Shelby. Yeah. Okay. So now she's a listener.
Okay. Okay, we're bringing it back in. So the first lessons learned was what I talked about with the duplicating the listing in multiple categories. The intent behind this, of course, is as people are doing their searches, people being agents, you can show up no matter what people are searching. So I thought that was very cool, and I'm very excited to test that out. So the second lesson learned since going into coming soon this past week is that, and Ali, you probably know this, but did you know that you can't post a video on a group page that's on Facebook that's longer than 90 seconds? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Okay, someone listening is going to be like, Shelby, you're fucking full of shit. Okay, well, it won't let me. It fucking won't let me, okay? And so now I'm like trying to, because I worked really, really hard on this listing video that we're going to talk about in a second from now, and I can't speed it up, and I don't want to chop anything out because every fucking word matters for that whole whatever. And so now I'm just like, oh, what do I do?
Oh, yeah. Maybe you guys the same solution. Go ahead.
I literally am just chopping it in half. I'm doing 45 seconds, and I'm posting 2 videos.
What if you were to have the post, you know how you can like share posts?
Yes.
Is it possible to share into a group?
It is. And that is so smart and exactly what I was going to do until I decided that I also wanted to add like very few select photos along with the video, because I wanted because some people don't like to watch the whole video. They just want to like look at some pictures. And so because of that, but yes, we're same brainwave here. We were there.
It's like we have ESPN or something.
It's like, yes, ESPN, both of us. What is the actual thing? Where does that come from? What is that quote from?
Oh my God. Mean Girls, I think.
Is it Mean Girls?
That I'm still quoting 30 years later. Yeah.
All good.
That and White Chicks, the only movies I know.
We are old. We are millennials. We're old. Okay, so I learned that. And now I want to talk to the rest of the time about listing videos in general. And I want to share my lessons learned, reflections, things I think I did well, things that I won't be repeating next time. And if you had not seen my video that I posted on February 13th, please go to The Shelby Show right now on Instagram and watch it. The entire thing. Do not cut out early, bitches. We'll watch the whole thing and then comment escape. Okay. When you watch it, you'll see why. But so for me, just so you know, the results that I've gotten from these 2 organic posts, I say 2 because it was one, it's the same video, it's the exact same post on Instagram and on Facebook. And for me and what I'm used to getting, this video performed well. And what it has gotten is, and by the way, this is organic, no boosting, no money behind it, nothing. Okay, so the results received from this are better than what I'm used to. So on Instagram only first, we got 6,550 views with almost 24 hours of watch time and 59 shares and 17 saves, plus 237 likes and 112 comments. So for me, that is a lot of shares and a lot of saves, which I view as being winners when you're doing a listing video, right? You want people to be saving it to look out later, or sharing it with your friend, like, hey, whatever, hey, check this out. So happy about those. Okay, so for this video, what I've seen, like a lot of what is kind of like the normal trend for listing videos right now is that if you are doing a talking video, it's usually an agent walking towards the camera directly outside the home and saying something like some sort of a hook-ish, but then also maybe like, check out this property at 123 Main Street or whatever. Most people by now know that you're not supposed to say, hi, this is Shelby Johnson with eXp Realty, and I'm here to show you this. So if you are still doing that, like, fucking cut that shit out. No more of anything like that. Get straight to the hook, whatever your hook may be. But they're usually slower paced, like an intro video like that. And then it has panning shots, either like a walkthrough video or like panning shots of the interior that end with sometimes an outro by the agent, sometimes no outro at all, where they're like, if you have questions about this property, shoot me a DM, whatever. Ali, is that correct? Well, that's like pretty much the norm.
Yes.
Okay. That, or it's no words at all, and they're just putting a video up that they're, maybe it's like the drone photos and maybe they just pieced it together, but there's like a lo-fi like music in the background with no talking. So these are kind of like what's normal. And before doing this video, I was like, I don't fucking want to do that. I'm so bored. If I see that, like, just in general, it's way better than nothing, by the way. Like, I think it's good. But I was like, I want to be like hooked, engaged. I want to be excited, like what's going to happen next, which is why I went the way that I went, which I think is unique. I haven't seen many like that yet, or I don't know. But I also could be sounding like a fucking total jackass right now. Ali, am I like, oh, my video is so unique? Am I sounding like that right now?
No, you're not. No, you definitely took a different, unique approach to it. Plus the enthusiasm. There has been like one other video that I've ever seen that was a listing video that was different, but it didn't have the enthusiasm.
Girl.
So, which like makes the world of a difference. Like if you're going to
Thank
go
you.
all out, go all out.
I paid off one of my mortgages in just 4 months thanks to the shred method. I personally use the shred method to manage my money and crush my mortgage faster than I ever thought possible. The system was simple, the customer service is top notch, and the results speak for themselves. $121,000 of a mortgage balance gone in just 4 months. I put my money where my mouth is, and it worked. If I can do it, so can you. This can not only help you, but your business as well. Help your clients not only buy homes, but also pay their mortgage off faster and build equity sooner. When you add this kind of value to their lives, you're not just their agent, you're their go-to advisor for life. The Shred Method sets you apart and keeps your clients coming back. So go to theshredmethod.com to learn more about how you can shred your mortgage and help your clients do the same.
Go all the fuck out. And again, this is why if you hadn't watched the video, you need to go watch it first so you know what we're talking about. But the things that I want to talk about the hook real quick. So lesson learned now, I think I could have done it right now. My hook is in 2 parts. It's like the initial hook, and then it's like a little bit of an intro before you get into the meat. And I think if I was going to do it again, I would just do the hook and then straight into the meat without that middle area. But basically I have on the video, I have a visual hook, and this is something that I want to explain that I think works well, that you guys might want to take into account. So I think most people know that you need to do an auditory hook. You need to get their attention real quick, say something that's going to grab them, right? But having an auditory combined with a visual hook makes it even more hooky and powerful. This kind of reminds me of the video that Ali did when she was holding a sweet potato the whole fucking time. And everyone's like, why is she holding a giant sweet potato? We don't know. We have to figure out why. Same concept. So my visual hook was binoculars. I literally binoculars and was like, oh, like, and then it's like, people watching like, what is she looking at? At least this was my intent. This was, we'll see. I mean, I think or whatever. What is she looking at? And then the verbal hook along with that. So that is something that I think is something you could consider in your next either listing video or regular videos, whatever. Then the next part, instead of like the normal listing video where it is the intro, but then the meat of the middle part, it has no words. It's usually just the panning of the house. So I decided to do a voiceover narration of the entire video, which actually the first videographer I talked to was like, don't do that. Like voiceovers don't work. They're like not a good idea. Not in my head.
How
I was
old
like,
how old is he?
He's 25.
Oh, the first one. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And in my head, I was like, okay, like I said, okay. But like in my head, I was like, no, this fucking works. Like I know it does because I watch Alyssa Kernot do it all the time and she kills. If you don't follow her, you should go follow her. Yeah, she's an agent. She crushes. But anyway, so the voiceover part to like get people in to, again, this is the dual. You're doing the visual, but you're also doing the auditory to narrate them and keep them super engaged. When you are doing a voiceover though, a mistake that I made in the beginning when I first started doing kind of testing these videos is that I would speak a normal pace and then I would speed up my voice to like 1.2 or 1.5 or whatever. And the feedback I got was that it didn't sound like me anymore. And so what I do now is I just talk really, really fucking fast. and it's like, so you can still get it in really quickly, but it still sounds like you. Yeah, for the voiceover. And what I would say, all of this, in my opinion, needs to be scripted ahead of time. And it's kind of, there's a saying out there that's like, if I had more time, I would have made it shorter. And I think that really applies to scripts as well as, is this word necessary? Is this point necessary? Is this point the pro versus the con of sharing the information versus the potential, I'm good, move, swipe, next, weighing like all of those pieces to condense and consolidate like to the most jam-packed script possible with changes quickly in both your visual. Ali, I think you're the one who told me like a second. It's like 1 second to 1.2 for the visual. But then also you don't keep your voice the same for very long either. It's inflection, it's excitement, it's down. Ooh, like all of those little things are going to keep people hooked throughout the video longer. Okay, any thoughts, questions so far, or points of your own?
The question is the videographer, did they also do the editing of the video too?
Yes. So
Nice.
I say yes, but it was really like about 85%. So what happened is we went out. So I Zoomed with him. Well, actually, it was a phone call. I had a phone call with him ahead of time. I sent him the script ahead of time. We went through the vision of like, hey, this is what I want. So when we showed up, like both of us were on the same page. We knew what we wanted. We weren't 100% on like the location of where everything would happen. We were letting that play out on the fly. But yeah, the sync ahead of time was super important. And then he used the script as the shot list, like we did together. We used it as the shot list. And then, so he had the shots as he was editing. So the script ahead of time was really like the skeleton for him to plug in all of the shots. But when he sent it to me the first time, so I only had one revision. He would have given me more, but he sent it to me the first time and it was 2 minutes and 4 seconds, which is longer than I wanted. And I wanted it to be a minute and a half or less. And so I went through and I redid on our script notes, like gave him tons of notes to go back and fix, and then also had him leave off music because I'm really picky with music. And then I also had a couple clips that I changed out myself. So I would say after the fact, he sent me the video and I still did probably maybe 15% is too much, 10% more myself.
Nice. And I really do like the cover photo that you have on the video, which is something that applies to everyone. And because you have, it's like you with the binoculars looking at something, we don't know what, and huge text. You won't find this on Zillow. That I think that's brilliant. Like, what will I not find on Zillow? Then you have to click the video in order to see the property.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So we talked about scripting. We talked about how quick the shot should be. And then at the end, the call to action. So ManyChat, we've talked about this before. Ali has talked about ManyChat several times. But we set that up so that way when the call to action was comment escape below, and the information will be shared with you right away. And so they commented escape, and then it went straight into their DMs with the link for them to go to the form. Sorry, but you have to fill out the form in order to get all of the property information, because of course we need to capture that information. And it's definitely not the same as selling a property that was $250,000 like I did last time that was a duplex, the amount of inquiries. But we do have 17 people who have filled out the form and inquired for more information so far, which is decent. It's not bad for $1 million property, that's weird that not everyone likes. So like we're okay so far. And yeah, anything else?
I'm filling out I'm going through the process right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it literally says fill out the form. I'll email you the pictures, videos, and the projected Airbnb income. I promise no spam. Just sent it and look for, and here's the email in case you can't find it, because wow, people cannot find emails these days. Holy moly. So, okay, I'm going to open up my email and see what that gets me. And I put that I need a realtor. That's my another question. In the ManyChat sequence, you have 4 options. Like, no, I already have a realtor. No, I am looking for a realtor. I am a realtor, and another option. Do they get something different if? Okay,
they don't get anything different. That's just for us to know. If they're like, yes, I want one, it's like, oh, great. If they're like, no, I don't want one, or I have one already, then it's just kind of like a little bit. It's just for us tracking.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you get the email? I'm on the edge of my fucking seat here.
I'm looking. I'm looking at here. Maybe it does go into spam. Nope, not in spam.
It better not.
Maybe it just takes
it went to you.
Shelby.
It does not say that you've opened it, but it does say it went to you at 10:22.
Okay.
It doesn't work.
Wow. I'm like, people can't even find emails these days.
And which email address did you use? Let's see.
I used my Gmail.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Okay, do you know what the subject line of the
full scoop?
There it is. Property. Okay, it just came in. Okay, so it's a little bit of a 2-minute delay, but
2-minute delay. That's annoying.
No, it's fine. Okay. Ooh, okay. So with a couple of links, the supporting documents, the full video, the floor plan, the Airbnb, the public records, the seller disclosure. Nice. There's a photo of you in your signature box, a few more notes. Heck yeah. And you keep the vibe with the hashtag bring your friends, hashtag party time after the invite to the open house. I love it. Yes.
I'm glad. If you guys want to copy my automation, you're more than welcome to, but you have to go to the Shelby Show on Instagram and comment escape. Then I get more comments, obviously. Yeah, and that is really all I think I have to say about the video. But overall, I am really happy with the results of it and also with the style. I think that the style is really fun and engaging. One other note I was going to say, because we talked about the visual hook and the auditory hook. So it wasn't even like I mentioned binoculars, but like I had a shit ton of props. I think props are really fun, and outfit changes. I mean, that's a little extra, but like at least props make people more excited, more engaged. The other thing too is like speed. So when you're doing your normal, like outside the video, if you're like walking towards someone slowly or whatever, you're like setting a certain tone. But if you move fast and like a little bit, you know, I mean, we were on a 4-wheeler and we drove away, and I'm like on a scooter, like, you know, I do think that there is something that goes along with like the excitement level of like speed versus like a slower tone. So and that's the thing, if it's like a different style too, like I know that I'm like Energizer fucking bunny over here half the time. So it is more of like my normal style. So you have to do what is authentic to you, but all things to consider.
Would you suggest for someone who doesn't have a listing, you know how a lot of agents will try to get listings or clients from listing videos. Would you suggest that someone reach out to a local or a couple local videographers to go and put this much time, effort, perhaps money into someone else's listing videos?
I think so, because Drake and I talk about that all the time. We're like, the thing that most agents don't understand is they're like, oh, I don't want to spend, because I spent $500 for that video, you know, between the videographer going out there, like he did the whole package, it was $500. And there's a lot of
That's
agents
not
who are
bad.
like,
Wow.
thank
That's
you.
really good.
That's the correct reaction, I think.
Oh
but
my
like
gosh.
a lot of agents are like, oh, like
I was
could never
expecting
pay.
2,000. Like I think I would
No,
have
really?
probably found videographers that would have done it for 2,000. Yeah.
Yeah,
in
$500
Tucson.
bucks. I was like, dude, sold. Originally he told
Yeah.
me $350, and I was just like, this is probably not enough. Like, do you want to increase? I was
Let's
like,
jump on
also,
a call. I'm gonna tell you what I'm asking from you.
right. Well, the other thing is too, like originally he said 350, and I was like, no, but you're thinking about a normal listing video. Like I have a very different idea. I promise you it's more interactive. Like you're going to want more money. I wonder if now he's like, yeah, 500 was not enough. But he's a collaborator on the post. You guys should go check him out. He has like 20,000 followers. He does a lot of drone, and he's a pilot. So he has like, anyway, whatever. Okay, so to bring it back to the point where it's not about the $500 for this listing. It is about the fact that I already from this, I didn't even talk about this, had someone reach out who said, Shelby, like, first of all, I want to see the property, which they did, but they're like, I want to sell my house and I want to buy. Based on this, from, you know, the reaction to this video, I have another person who reached out in my inbox, same thing, like, hey, like I'm not ready to sell right now, but when I do, like you are the person who I want to sell. And then I went into the fucking gym and everyone was like, oh my God, Shelby, that video was amazing. And like people would be like, I'm never selling my house, but if I ever do, like you're the girl. You know, someone walked to me, they're like, what's up, the Shelby show? And I'm like, I think I've spoken to you once. You know, I don't know. It's just like, I would challenge thinking about content and videos and like expending money as like, it's not about what you're spending now. It's about the ripple effect of all of the other things that if you do something that's like really high quality and like time consuming and hard and all the things that like, it's not about the singular result of selling the property. Fuck yeah, I want to sell the property, but it's about all of the other things. And my sellers are like so thrilled like by it. They keep texting me like screenshots of people texting them about the video and like them replying being like, she's just like, you know, a godsend, like all these things, you know, and I'm just, so it's one of those things too, where now like you turn someone into a raving fan. Anyway, all to bring this back to the point of would I recommend doing this for other people's listings? And I think the answer is yes, but I think that you need to choose really wisely the property that you want to do this for. Like, I wouldn't just say like, go do it for a bunch of like, be really thoughtful about like, is that your target audience? Are those the type of houses that you want to work with? You know, is that the price point you want? Like be very, very specific. And if it checks all the blocks, then yeah, especially if it's like a cool, unique property. Sure.
Yeah. Super good point. Is this going to attract the people that you actually want to work with long term, not just now for now business?
You're building your resume with everything you're doing. You're building your resume.
It's your reputation. Yeah. Like, oh, this is how she treats other people's listings. Like, wow. I also saw that you collaborated with the actual owners too, who also have Instagram. So that's dope. I never even thought about that.
I did. Yeah. Well, originally I was like, okay, well, I should send them something so that they can post. Like that is a part of my process. And then I was like, but I know these people and I feel like they would want to accept the collaboration. And that's one less email or whatever I have to do. So
If you're looking to change brokerages this year so you can increase your business and you want to join us at eXp Realty and would like either myself, Ali Garced, or Shelby Johnson to personally sponsor you in, so that way you have access to 2 icon agents, text the word join to either my number, 914-318-4918,
or Shelby's number, 859-267-3849.
If I sponsor you and you have access to the both of us and everything that's 5 Pillars Nation, we have the checklist, the systems, the processes to help you scale your business. And don't take our word for it. We've had agents switch brokerages to join us that were stuck making $300,000 GCI, and they join us so they can scale. So text the word join to those numbers and we'll take the next steps.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. I love it. So will you be using the same videographer for future
Yes.
or the same system? Is there anything in the system that you'll be changing for other listings?
Yes. I am going to use him again for videography. I'm also going to use him for drone photography next time. Whereas I used a different person for photos, and the photos were good. The drone could have been better, I think. So I'm like going to shake that up a little bit. But for the video process, I don't anticipate doing not every listing I'm going to have is going to have fucking 2 houses and a warehouse and 19 acres and like the whole thing. Like, so it will have to adjust. But yes, I do want to do high energy, catchy, fun, like kind of like a Where's Waldo, like what's she going to do next type of vibe. And I think that will be like my signature.
Nice. And maybe we'll include this in the episode, maybe not. But as far as like, so I have different packages that I have for sellers. Are you thinking of this as like a part of a package, or is this like, this is me, this is my price, this is what I offer, or not?
That is a really good question. I think, so I haven't locked that down yet. Right now I do have packages, but I just have which is what this is. Then I have which I don't expect them to choose, but it's one of those where it's like, you choose your, which one do you think would sell your house the best? But in doing this, the amount of fucking work for the video, but also like we sent out 1,000 mailers, like we have done so much work. Literally, I'm like, I know this is like $1 million listing, but I'm like, we're worth more.
Yes.
Like, we're worth more than, like, we're earning every penny of, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Yes.
So TBD. All to say TBD.
Yeah.
That's
cool. I love it.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, great. This was when when I messaged you this morning, I was like, hey, like, do you have anything you want to talk about today?
I was like, oh shit, no, I don't.
Podcast. And you're like, no, you got it. And I was like, fuck.
You're like, well, you're on for next week, bitch.
Literally, I was like, we're tagging this right now. Like, you are next week.
Yeah.
Although next week, like if if everything goes well, I'll have a lot of feedback for open house and, more things that happened this week. But still, no, don't plan on that. Well,
yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so everyone's homework today is to go on Google, in case you don't already have 1, 2, or maybe even 3 videographers that are willing to do something like this. Go on the Shelby Show Instagram, save that video and send it to 2 or 3 videographers in your area and ask them, how much would a video like this be for a minute and a half or less? So that way you can get some quotes as far as your, what your local market would do. You can start a relationship with a videographer that you don't yet have. It doesn't have to be for every single listing. It could be for some. It could be for a specific package that you have for sellers. But that's your homework for today. And if you want any more nuggets, checklists, trackers, scripts, all the things, we have everything for free on theagentgoldmine.com. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. Stick around for the next one, which is going to be me. Be a bro and share this show.